Hey, what's up boys, Xret here, welcome to the video you all been waiting for a long time, my classic WRATH addons and UI guide. I get tons of comments every day asking my addons and WRATHs, although I've made a UI guide before when I was playing retail and mentioning this in comments. This UI is just a copy of that and all addons work in both versions of the game, but anyway I'm making it again specifically for WRATH. And I'm making this UI guide absolutely for free, so please do me a favor if you're using this guide to make your UI like mine, support me by subscribing to my YouTube channel, which is totally free, and make sure to like this video. Thank you very much. So first off, some of you asked if it's possible to have my addons and their settings in a single file, and I thought it's not possible. After searching a lot, I finally figured out a way, and all you need to do is to have my addons, then copy paste them in your addons folder, and also to have my character addons variables, also known as addon settings, then copy paste them in a specific folder in your WoW folder. So I've put a link of a zip file that contains both of them in the description below. And here's how you do it. Download and open the zip file and copy all folders in addons folder, then open your WoW folder. If you're not sure where it is, simply open your Battle.net like I'm doing, click on the cogwheel right here and select the second option, and here's your WoW folder. Open Classic, go to interface folder, addons, and paste all you copied inside the addons folder you downloaded. If anything pops up, just select replace and copy, and now just go back to the zip file, and there's also a folder called Xret. Copy the folder, again go back to your WoW folder, Classic, WTF, then account, and you might have multiple folders here if you got more than one WoW account in your Battle.net, but if you got one, you'll have a folder just like mine except saved variables. Go in and open your Realm folder, then paste the Xret folder in here. So what you did just doesn't magically change your WoW UI to mine in a second, but you'll now have access to my saved addons profile in your game. What do I mean? For example, you no longer have to spend an hour setting up your Bartender spell bars. Instead, what you do is to simply open its settings by typing /Bartender, then go to the Profile tab, and you'll see Xret Addons. Click, and everything should look like mine on that specific addon, for example. If you can't find any option with my name as a profile, then try this one out. Find your own characters folder, delete all data inside, then copy paste all Xret files in there. That's the last thing you can do. If it doesn't work, then you have to set the addons manually. In addition, I wanted to generally answer the question many of you had, and that is, where can you get my addons? Some of them can't be found on CurseForge. That is correct. Well, the answer is I made this UI first when I was playing retail, and some of them belong to retail, or their authors haven't implemented or updated the addon for Wrath of the Lich King yet, but they work both in retail and classic. So that's the only reason you can't find them. Simply download the retail version of the game or switch to your retail WoW folder in CurseForge, and if you search that specific addon, you can find them. Then copy paste them to your classic WoW addons folder, or just simply get it from the folder I've uploaded for you. So I'm gonna start with the addon I'm getting most asked about, that shows my damage numbers and their icons next to them, which is Nameplate Scrolling Combat Text. This addon is just an example of the ones I told you must download from retail and copy to your classic folder. I like my numbers and icons to be a little big, so if you prefer so, here's my settings. If you can't get your numbers and font just like me, it's because I'm using nice damage fonts on my WoW, and I've put that on the file I've uploaded to. Just copy and paste it in your classic folder and restart the game. Next is Bartender, the addon I'm using to sort my spell bars, and once you have it, type /Bartender in chat. If you want it exactly to look like mine, do these steps I explained earlier and select profile here, then find Xret Addons and click on it. If not, you can set it up manually. All of these bars have a number. If you uncheck the lock button up here, they show up and allow you to move them. Every single of them have same settings like I'm showing you. My padding number is 2, scale is set to 1, and all of these 4 button square bars you see are just made by setting button number to 4 and row number to 2. And since I barely click on bag and micro menu bars, I've scaled them down and put them down this corner. Next up is the Tellmewhen add-on. Many of you were asking where do I get the cooldown wiki auras in the middle of my screen, but it's not actually a wiki aura. These cooldown buttons are made by Tellmewhen add-on, and setting all of these up is so easy and basic. Type /tmw in chat and 4 empty boxes will show up that you can use click to move them and scale them down, or you can right click to decrease or increase numbers of boxes, add rows, or even duplicate boxes if you right click one and drag it out. So if you right click on any of the boxes, you can have some trigger events or spell cooldowns on any of them you want, and most important ones you have to know are spell cooldowns, item cooldowns that are specially made for trinkets, reactive abilities is used for execute spells like kill shot, hammer of wrath, or warriors execute, and the last one that really matters is buffs and debuffs. So for example, I want to keep track of my divine storm cooldown. Spell cooldown, we have to write down divine storm here, and custom texture is the icon you want to be shown on the box. It's not the actual spell, it could be the icon of anything else in the game. And there are some options here which I don't use much, only these timer options, and you can also set opacity percentage for when the spell is ready or not. And to show you another example of setting up a Tellmewhen for a buff, I can set up my auto warp proc. So what I do is to duplicate one out of these by right clicking and dragging it out, because I want a separate one on top of my screen so I can notice auto war easier. Now right click, buffs and debuffs, write down buff name, the art of war, custom texture, that is the same name, and we have all these options again. And you can also set some minimum or maximum amounts of stacks of a buff before it shows up right here. If you want to track a buff or debuff on a specific number of stacks, that helps a lot. And that's it. Masque is the next add-on I'm using, and what it does is actually adding darkness to the edges of my spells, Tellmewhen icons, and such stuff. It can be applied to literally anything on your screen, but not buffs and debuffs. If you want to do so, you might need to also download Move Anything add-on. Also, it's worth to mention that Masque add-on doesn't work on its own, and you might also need to download Masque Shadow 2. And once you have it, go to add-on setting by pressing escape, then interface, add-ons, find Masque, and click load options, accept, and skin settings under the mask right here. And if you set global skin to Masque Shadow 1, all of your spells and icons from all add-ons will have dark edges. Next up is the add-on I'm using for party frames, and I'm getting asked a lot about this. Well, I'm not using anything because Blizzard's default party frame is the best in my opinion. And all you have to do to make it like mine is to go to interface, rate profiles, and check this option on top right. Check the options I've checked and drag these two options to max. Now you have big party frames and health bars, and to move them simply click here and select unlock, and the party frame is movable easily. You can move it anywhere you want, and that's it. Next one is the elite player frame enhanced, and this add-on is the one that's adding this dragon around my health frame, and it's got a couple of more options. To change them, you can simply type /EPF mode 1 to 7 to change the dragon. There's silver and golden dragon. It's got 2 Death Knight avatars and a Demon Hunter avatar, because this add-on belongs to the retail, but you can still use it in classic. And Plater is the add-on I'm using for nameplates. Since Plater has tons of options and is so complicated, I can share my profile and you can easily get it. All you need to do is to go to my Plater profile link I've put in the description below. Click on copy import string, then go back to the game and type /Plater in game. Find profiles option up here, then click on import string and paste what you copied from the website using Ctrl V and click on OK, and you get it. The most valuable thing this Plater brings to you is showing enemy health amounts. And also don't forget that you can increase your nameplate distance to 41 yards by simply going to interface, name tab, and you can find it there. By the way, my profile is also customized to show friendly nameplates, so if you're a healer, it's good, it helps you out. If you don't need it, easily uncheck friendly players here. And also have to mention that friendly nameplates is still bugged in some instances, because it automatically shows the old player nameplates with green color outlines. It's just a bit ugly. Because of that, I usually turn it off till Blizzard or Plater fixes it. Big Debuff is the add-on that is showing CC icons next to the nameplates. It shows icon on top of the nameplate by default. If you want it to be next to it, open Big Debuff settings from your interface, go to the nameplate tab and change this option to right. So next up is the Opie, that is very familiar for retail players, and it's been mostly used for world marking in dungeons and raids, but I'm using it to change my seals in Classic WRATH. If you want to have one like mine, do these steps I'm telling you and you can make it. Go to Opie add-on settings in your interface, like I showed you for other add-ons. Click this plus icon next to it and select custom rings. Then click new ring and name it something like anything like seals. Click this plus icon here and search for the spell you want to have in the ring, and it can be multiple spells for sure. Just find them and drag them to the plus icon. Once you're done, you got to set a keybind to it. Try to find your ring name up here and click on the keybind option and set anything you want to it. I've bound it to Alt E for example. Now close everything and hold your keybind you've set, and the ring shows up. Then drag your mouse to the direction of the spell you want and release the keybinds at once. It's so satisfying, right? And this add-on you can see here is Pally Power, which helps you when buffing people and is only used by paladins, so if you're not a paladin, just skip it. Not that important, but it's an add-on I'm using. So anyway, you can right click the dot here and set default buffs to classes, and if you click on the class icons it automatically buffs them. Bagnon is the add-on I'm using for my bags. No settings, simple. I'm using two add-ons for my minimap and normal map customization, and these two add-ons are also my whisper add-ons. Really helps you to figure out who whispered to you every time it opens a new window on your screen and plays a sound when you get a whisper. And lastly, you know what these two add-ons are. Questie helps questing, and Details to show how everyone's doing in combat. I also got two more add-ons that are worth to mention. One is Tacotip that shows my Wotlk, gear score and eye level, and the second one is Extended Character Stats that adds a tab to your character pane that shows more and detailed stats, whether you're a melee or ranged healer or even a tank. So that's it guys, I've covered every single add-on I've used to build my UI. If you can't find some of them, as I said, it's because they're made for retail WoW. All you need to do is to download them for retail and install them in your Classic WoW add-ons folder, or just simply download my add-ons folder, link in the description below, and you're good. But still, if you got any question, feel free to ask in the comments. I try to answer every single comment that is asking anything of me. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you think the guide was useful. Wish you all guys a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one.